Hi, we have already seen the most relevant aspects in types of companies and freelancers. Now we will focus on some specific elements of the profession in France. A freelance translator is defined as follows. Freelance translators, or so-called independent translators, are self-employed, which means they are not in any legal sense bound to their clients or work providers. They either work for direct clients whom they invoice directly or for agencies that actually get the contracts and subcontract them to the freelancers. Freelance translators' status will be defined according to various parameters. First, a translator needs to decide whether they are likely to hire employees or not. If not, then they are more likely to choose to work under the status of sole proprietorship since it implies less paperwork. In that case, they act as a natural person and are fully liable for professional debts. Acting as a natural person with limited liability is also an option, creating a limited liability sole proprietorship, which in return requires longer creation procedures. Under the status of sole proprietorship, the translator has to pay income taxes but no corporate taxes. The status of author is not exclusive of the above-mentioned statuses. In France, Article L112.3 of the Intellectual Property Code stipulates that authors of translation, adaptations, conversions, or arrangements of an intellectual work enjoy the protection instituted by this code without prejudice to the copyright in the original work. In that respect, translators can be considered as authors and remunerated according to this status. On the other hand, if a translator thinks of hiring staff in the future and/or wants to protect their capital, it is recommended to create a corporate body. For example, the single-member limited liability company, which can be described as a particular form of limited liability company with only one associate, and the single-member simplified joint stock company, which is a simplified joint stock company with only one associate. In both cases, the liability of the translator is limited to the contribution in the legal capital. Salaried translators are contractually bound to their employer. The employer pays both the salary and any mandatory employer's contributions, while the translator pays the relevant employee's contributions. In France, two main types of contracts can be distinguished: the open-ended contract and the fixed-term contract. The French National Institute of Statistics and Economic Studies gives the following definition of the former. The open-ended contract is the normal form of employment contract concluded between an employer and an employee with no time limit. The latter is defined as an employment contract by which an employer recruits an employee for a limited period of time. Such contract is only possible for the performance of a specific temporary task. In terms of the types of companies that are likely to hire salaried translators, they are mostly translation companies or any company or public organization which have their own translation department. I hope you enjoyed this unit. You can complete this introduction with the materials available in the platform. See you in the next video.